Hey guys, I want to go over some things. Um, I read an article that someone posted on my timeline, and it's about how they're wanting to force vaccines in California. And they're comparing this guy that wrote this bill to Hitler because he's wanting to euthanize the elderly and all these other things. Well, he's not the only person that thinks that way. If you go on YouTube, type in Bill Gates TED speech, he says the same thing. He said they need to have a depopulation plan. That, if you take out one granny, you can hire 6 teachers. Out of his own mouth, at a TED speech. Now there's something that I'm actually probably going to go in and I'm going to try to find this and I'm going to post it in the comment section. But Dave Anderson showed the very definition of what is going on to us. He went out to his chicken coop and took some corn cobs out there and he goes, watch this. Here's the border scandal. Threw out a corn cob. All the chickens ran to it. Then he brought up another IRS scandal. Threw it out there. Chickens went from that cob to the other one. This is called the Hegelian dialectic. Okay? This is a psychology that they've studied in human beings. We've been studied. They know what we do. They know how we act. So what they do is a central entity, doesn't matter what central entity it is, creates the problem so they can get a reaction. They don't want us to get up together and act as one and respond. They just want a reaction. Then they come out with something else that we react to, which causes confusion. What they want is they want us to go to them for the solution. And they're more than happy to give us a solution, but it's the solution that they want. So let's look at this for a minute. All this craziness is coming out from everywhere. It's coming out from your colleges, your schools, your government, your local government. And we think, well, our government's been taken over from the inside. But have we ever thought that maybe our local government, our schools, our colleges, all these organizations, including religious organizations, have been taken over from the inside? And this is the reason why we're seeing all this craziness come out from every orifice that we can think of. Now, the reason why we can't get anything done is because they are using tools against us within our reactions. And these tools are called religion and race and other social issues in the mix of the big major problems, because it keeps us from coming together and getting to the root of the problem. Now, they have turned the colleges, the public school system, these religious organizations, the pharmaceutical companies into a monopoly. Then we wonder why they're doing all these things in the school system, why they're teaching about Islam, why they're teaching 3-year-old children how to masturbate in school. Awful, disgusting things. It is because these kids in college not only go into debt, and when you go into debt, even the Founding Fathers said this, make sure that you don't go into debt, because when you go into debt, that makes you a slave. Yes, you have to go to college in order to get a piece of paper that says you're eligible to do a certain job. But when these kids go into college, they leave out with debt, but they also come out indoctrinated. And I'm going to just give you an explanation of this. Okay? You have these doctors, right? The sickness and disease in this country has risen since when our grandparents and their parents were young. But yet we have all this modern medicine, surgeries, vaccines, all this and that. Well, the doctors get paid and get perks from the pharmaceutical companies to write you prescriptions. So if you go in there with, high blood pressure, or you go in there with diabetes or anything, 6 months later you find yourself taking 40 different medications. Well, that gives you side effects, which makes you have to take more medications. Well, it's because these doctors get paid perks. I mean, these pharmaceutical companies send people out, and they bring these doctors steak dinners. And if they don't start writing, for this pharmaceutical company, they're not writing prescriptions. They're going to do whatever they can to get them to write you these prescriptions. The first law and rule of medicine, first do no harm. They are doing harm because they have turned the medical field into a monopoly. But these colleges are the ones creating these doctors and these lawyers. Do you see? These media people, these mainstream media people. So in order for us to stop what's going on, and this goes very deep, very, very deep, hundreds of years back, same people. In order for us to stop this, we are going to have to resist the lie. Not tolerate it at all. Period. Get to the root of the problem. Because you can cut the tops, you can cut down the branches, you can cut it down all the way down to the stump. But if you don't get to the root, the evil will still exist. So going back into history, studying the psychology, the etymology of words, which means the parts. There's an outside meaning to it that everybody sees and understands, but there's also an esoteric meaning, which means the things that we don't see, that's on the inside, the root, under the ground, that you cannot see. That is what we need to get to, together. Regardless of belief or religion, dig deep down together, grab a hold of that son of a bitch, and pull it out. There is evidence. In almost everything you study, if you take one of these subjects and you dig down deep, you're going to find the same names and the same organizations. If you dig deep enough. That our government, since 1916, right before they came out with the Federal Reserve Act and when they came out with the tax, that our president has been controlled by these people. Since 1916, we have not had a real president. One of the presidents, and I'm not saying he's perfect, was John F. Kennedy. And he tried to tell us this in one of his speeches. Not too long after that, he was killed. And you can say this guy did it, or that guy did it, or whoever did it. But the reason why, you need to look at the reason why it was done. History matters. Psychology matters. Because they're using all of this against us. This is the reason why, when the Republicans were voted into office, they have caved on everything. This is the reason why when you call your representatives, they lie to you, say they'll do something about it, and they don't. It is because they are controlled. Everything you're seeing is theater. It's not real. We have to understand this. We need to get to the root of the problem and pull it out. I can't, I know people want hope. People want to think that we live and that we have this choice, but we don't. Our choices have been taken from us. So if you're trying to go outside of yourself and try to find somebody that's going to help you, other than the people that are standing shoulder to shoulder with you, the people, we the people, us, not them, then nothing's going to change. It's going to get worse. We have to stop looking to them for the solution and start looking to ourselves. Because everything we're seeing is a grand delusion. It's delusion. We see all these things and can't believe it's reality. It's because it's not. It's constructed. It's being done by design. Okay? This is the reason why you see, someone said something about, why are you worried about the Masons and why are you worried about a black and white checkered floor? Well, how many videos have you seen lately on MTV? If you watch MTV, I don't, but I do it in the study or at these Grammys, or at the Super Bowl, that they're dancing on a chessboard. That's a Masonic symbol. They are saying the people are the pawns, and the people at the top move them. It's a game, ladies and gentlemen. It's like living in a movie. It's not real. All these people are actors. And someone else is writing the script. Understand this. It can be proven very easily. But you have to stop believing the lie. You have to have no tolerance for it.